Uh, Before we start, is there anybody who has never been in a, and I ask these things and sometimes it seems stupid, but I'm gonna ask them. Has anybody never been in a car? I'll ask these questions every once in a while. People raise their hand, so that's fine. I mean, I'm just curious. Does anybody here own a car, or your parents allow you to drive a car consistently? Before the 1900s, early 1900s, the average American probably never left the county that they were born in. Yes, you get people that travel cross country on wagons and stuff and trains and stuff, yes. But the average American never left the county they were born in. Transportation travel is really hard. It's not something you do easily. And then along comes the cars, and you were able to get places, but not very far because the roads sucked. Has anybody ever driven from here to Oklahoma City without using Interstate 44? Driven on the back roads? Try it sometime. It really is not fun. I was in the military, and when we would convoy cross country, we would not use the interstates. We'd use the small roads, and it's really not fun to do. Well, when Dwight David Eisenhower was in the military in the 30s, he had to convoy across the country two or three times with some troops, and he realized this is not the way to go. During World War II, they noticed that the Germans had built what they call the Autobahn, which are highways, which the United States did not have interstate systems at this time. They just had the highways that go from like here to Duncan and from here to Walters and places like that. Well, when he became president in 1950, he developed, obviously not him personally, but he's credited with what is called the Eisenhower Interstate System. Interstate 44, 35, all these interstates. And if you read what the interstates are about using the military transporting. Civilians get to use the roads, but they were built for the military. And it's kind of funny, you guys, nobody here is alive, but in 91, when Gulf War #1 was happening, we were in Louisiana at the time, and they were planning on loading up a bunch of tanks onto trucks and transporting them across the Interstate 10 and Interstate 20 down Louisiana area. A lot of people say, you can't do that. You can't do it. Well, yes, you can. The interstates were built for the military. You guys just get to use them. But the interstates, when they came along, you could actually get out and travel. Now asking the question again, has anybody never been outside the state of Oklahoma? Again, I've asked this question before, and there's some people, I've never been outside. So everybody here's been outside of Oklahoma? And I'm not just talking about Wichita Falls, I'm talking about outside. Okay, good. So you travel. But cars are something a lot of countries don't have. We get to travel. Get in the car and go. I've driven from here to Georgia. I've driven from here to El Paso, Texas. I've driven down into Mexico. Been everywhere in 28 of the 50 states. But this chapter, we're going to start talking about stuff. One of the first sections we're talking about is what is called purchasing a new vehicle, non-pre-owned, straight off the factory floor. When you were doing your study guide, you would have come up something. They had something. Every new vehicle is required to have a sticker price. If you ever drive by a new car dealership, they call it sticker price because it's a sticker on the window. It's a big sheet of paper on the window that lists everything going into the car. What is the base price? Base price is another name for manufactured suggested retail price. That's what the people who built the car said, this is what you should charge for the car. It's base. It's stripped down version. Okay, now every car stripped down version is different. When they first came out with SUVs back in the 80s, I had a couple friends that went and bought some SUVs. And you go into the factory and say, okay, the base price on an SUV is 4 wheels and an axle. Everything else is an option. So sometimes base is nothing, but it's where you start from. But the base price is just the stripped down version. Options are what make the car fun to drive. Moonroof, sunroof, fog lights, speakers, all the good stuff. Okay? So when you are getting a car, you find out what the base price is they are charging. That's just the base. The engine, normally the engine, the body, the wheels, just the base stuff. Options, you can have 5,000 options. Got to add them all up. Now, for the worksheet we're going to do, we don't go 5,000, but we do go a couple of different options. But options are the extra stuff. Destination charge, that is what they're charging you to get the car from where it rolls off the factory floor to where you drive it. And I have had friends who say, this is back in the day when Detroit used to make a lot of cars. I'm going to drive up to Detroit. I'll pick the car up right off the lot and I'm driving straight down here. I don't have to pay the destination charge. Guys, it's 900 miles up to Detroit. It's a lot cheaper for them to just ship it down here because they can ship it 10 cars at a time, a lot cheaper. Okay. So sometimes destination charge is cheap, especially if you got to go to Japan and pick it up. So what you do is when you get the car, you add up all the parts. There are no, on this one, there's no percentages. So if you're not good with percentages, you can use any calculator because there's no percentages on this. Tomorrow, I can't say the same if it's still on, sir. All right, question number 1. River City Auto has a pickup truck. Not trying to be sarcastic, but does everybody know what a pickup truck is? Mr. Doro's got one out there. Guys, I know it seems like a stupid question, and most people, it is a stupid question, but some people don't know. So I'm just saying, pickup truck. Normally a smaller truck used for personal use, not for businesses. But they're selling a pickup truck for sale. The base price, $22,225. The options are, you have a 6-speed transmission, manual transmission, 6 gears, okay, for $2,908.
You said manual?
It's 6-speed transmission, manual transmission, standard transmission. You got clutch on the floor, push it down, shift.
That looks not like a stick or something.
That's another name for it. That's stick, manual transmission, standard transmission. There's a dozen different names for it. Right. You have a cruise control. Has anybody ever driven a car without cruise control? Don't do it. 900 miles without a cruise control. When you get where you're going, your feet are locked into position and you can't go slow. Okay, cruise control is the only way to go. Trailer towing packages. You got to have an electrical plug. You got to have the ball in the back. You got to be able to tow it. You got to have a car that can do it. So, $230. And power windows. Anybody ever use manual windows? Okay, they're great when they work, but sometimes they just don't want to work. Okay, so again, $738. These are all options, and they're going to charge you a destination charge of $900. You're going to add them all up. Whatever you get, that is the sticker price. Now that does not include taxes. Make sure you add. There's no multiplication involved at all. That's what I got. Anybody else get anything different? Do not hesitate to write yours down because I'm standing at the board and I mess up, okay? And that's your basic work right there. Just add up what they give you. Nothing major. Now, there is some algebra on this. Yay, algebra. Question number 3. One of your fellow students did this. I had originally just had the paragraphs written there, and one of the students said, I don't know if it's algebra or not. So she specifically asked me to add algebra, so that's why I did this. And again, this is one of the first worksheets I ever created for math. So this is an older worksheet. It was actually 3 pages when I first, well, actually 4 pages when I first started. I have trimmed it down, okay? So I used to have a staple and 2 full sheets of paper, but I have trimmed it down. And in the process, I left nope, there's a formula, back page. So, number 3. Nayan Patel purchases a compact vehicle with an MSRP. Remember, MSRP is the same as base price. So the sticker price is equal to base or MSRP plus options plus destination charge. Okay. So he purchased it. He has the MSRP is $17,980. Which includes, now they're including destination charge. So you get rid of this because it's included in here. Okay. And then you got the options. Okay, so of the options, he's getting a power front seat, and he's getting a keyless entry, a key fob. Which, when I get this textbook, was not as common as you would think. Okay, the total cost of the car, which includes sales tax, is $19,591.70. But this includes the sales tax. Sticker price does not include sales tax. So you got to find a way to back out the sales tax. Figure out what the sticker price was. So sticker price plus 7% of the sticker price is going to equal to that. So the sticker price is going to be $19,591.70 divided by 1.07, which is sticker plus sales tax. And I got as a sticker price $18,310. Okay, step 1. How much money do I have available for my options? How do I figure out the options cost, total options cost? How do I solve for options? How do I get options by itself? Subtract. So you take the 18,310 minus 17,980. And I've got my options. I've got $330 to spend on options. These are my 2 options. Okay, so if you read this, they said the power seat is 10 times more than the entry. So the smallest one is the keyless entry. We're going to call that, we're going to call that Y. And what is 10 times Y? 10Y, very good. Okay. So your total options, 10 plus 1 is 11Y 11Y is equal to $330. What's Y? What? 30. And Y is what? Keyless entry. So the keyless entry is $30. And the remaining $300 that you got for your options goes for the power seat. So on your handout, power seat's 300, keyless remote, keyless entry is 30. And there's one more algebra that I'm gonna let you guys go. The rest of the stuff is just total addition. I think there's one division in the back page. That's it, guys. If there's any questions, I will answer them individually and personally. Let me know. This is it for today. Tomorrow we will do dealer cost, which you will need percentages on that, and we will do used cars tomorrow. Don't forget that KBB thing to start looking for a car in the area that you could see yourself buying that you think would be cool and neat. It's got to have an engine, and it's got to be a personal vehicle. 18-wheelers are off the books, and it can't be a bicycle. It's got to be something with an engine. Good. Okay. Go forth and do good.